What's up, everybody? Oh, dang it. Forgot to get the door. Oh,
Sorry about the train.
and the train arrives. All good timing all the way around. Go figure. Welcome to Dueling Aces, and of course, this is the NFL preview. So first and foremost, I must automatically tag Gene solo, no matter what, because that's three times epic fail. So Gene is
Don't even bother. She's already in bed.
I'm gonna have her come kick your ass.
No, she said. I told her. I said from now on, she's tagged first and foremost right out the get go.
I'm saying I'm gonna have her come kick your ass if you don't.
Oh, I know. I know. Trust me. I know. All righty. So Gina's tagged solo automatically.
She's there. She's in the chat.
Hey, Gene. See, I had your back. I was gonna let her.
I don't.
I wasn't gonna let George forget about you.
Yep, right off the bat, solo tag just for you. I told her from now on, that's the way it's going to be. Absolutely. All right. As I said, it's our NFL preview show. Plus, we have the man in the middle at the moment, Mr. Chris Rips, who went to the Nationals show last week and just missed our show just by a hair, but John filled in nicely, so we appreciate that. But I'm very excited to turn around and hear, because I saw your video of how much stuff you were able to obtain as far as autographs went. I was just lost for words.
Well, it was a lot of work to get all those autographs. I tell you what, I haven't stood on my feet that long in a long time. I think I put a full 40 in for sure at the event. But it was a blast, man. It was absolute fun. Just a lot of good times. There was so many people there. I don't know the number of autographers that they had. I would say it was well over 100 different guys that autographed, probably right around 100, maybe a little higher than that for the weekend or for the week. I got 54, which was a chore. I will recommend, I bought the all access, what do they call it? Super VIP all access pass. And if people are watching, that's a $300-ish ticket. I bought one for me, one for my kid. It gets you to be third in line. So for $300, you still get to be the third group that goes in. So you can spend like $1,500 on a platinum pass or an extra, or just pay $500 and get a line VIP, which gets you in right behind the platinum guys. I would always suggest that if you're trying to get autographs, because I probably could have saved 2/3 of the time and probably could have got twice as many autographs. But it was a great event. We have a ton of stuff that we're going to start putting out there. And our biggest thing was we wanted stuff with inscriptions that nobody else had, like weird inscriptions, or we got baseball players on football helmets. Like I had a Dodgers football helmet with Mike Piazza signed, stuff like that. So just different crap that nobody has.
That's a twist.
Yeah. Oh, he thought it was the coolest thing ever. You know, Ryan Sandberg, though, when I had him sign a Cubs football mini helmet, he looked at me like I was a moron. Mike Piazza thought it was cool, but Ryan Sandberg thought I was an idiot. But whatever. I don't really care. It's my.
I was gonna say, you're paying for it. Guess
right?
What?
Yeah. I really. They don't get to have an opinion at that point. No. But it was fun. There was a lot of stuff.
It's in front of me. I sign. Done deal.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you know what? They were very good. I will say Michael Cooper from the Lakers was badass. The guy was amazing. My son made friends with Dexter Jackson. We split up because we had to do a couple signings at the same time. So I went to Burroughs, and my son went to Dexter Jackson. And I got done, and I'm standing out in the middle and I can't see anybody because there's so many damn people. And I'm like, where the hell is my son? Where the hell is my son? It took him like half an hour. And he gets there. He's like, well, I got that my thing's autographed by Dexter, and his agent wouldn't let people take pictures of him. So he handed me his phone and asked me to stand there and take pictures of everybody that he signed. So then him and Dexter got to hang out after and stuff. And I mean, Dexter is what he is. He's a Super Bowl MVP. I mean, he's not like the biggest name in the world, but it was pretty cool for my kid. And anyways, an experience I'll remember forever. I don't know if I'll go to Atlantic City next year, but maybe back to Chicago the year after. We'll see.
That's cool. Any other major names that were in on that one?
Yeah, I mean, there was a ton of guys. I mean, Emmett was there. Michael Irvin was there. I wanted to say Bo Jackson. Barry Sanders was there. They got who's the kid that Spencer Rattler did the he was the first college player to sign with Fanatics now that they're allowed to do that. And so that was his first autograph session. They wanted $150 for a Spencer Rattler autograph, which I just thought was outrageous. And he ended up with only getting about 30 people that paid for him. Which was kind of tough. I actually kind of felt bad for the kid. But the dude that was first in line, he had a platinum pass, and I was talking to him all weekend because he was always right in front of me. And he had an Oklahoma helmet that he brought just for Spencer Rattler. And Spencer Rattler, he was the first one, and Spencer Rattler autographed it. First ever pro auto or something, 1 of 1. And I'm just like, that helmet is freaking badass. If that kid wins the Heisman, which he's up there, he's projected to, that helmet is worth a fortune. So, anyways, a lot of older guys. I'm trying to think of I got so many damn autographs, but a lot of them, we paid for a lot, but a lot of them we got the freebies too. And by saying freebie, it was included with our pass. I paid $300 for. But we still had to buy stuff for the sign, so it wasn't like a legitimate free autograph. But if you're gonna pay for all those and you have all of those free ones, you might as well get them. I mean, for what we do in our breaks, they're great filler items. I got cool inscriptions on them. I tried to get cool items. Probably my favorite autographer. I'm a Dodgers fan, so other than Piazza, of course, for me was Dale Murphy. Dale Murphy was a super cool guy. Got a couple. I got a full size helmet, a bat, and I took a. So I got lucky. I found on this random website they were selling All-Star Game balls because it was supposed to be in Atlanta this year, right? And it got moved. And there was baseballs for the Atlanta 2021 Atlanta All-Star Game. And so I ordered one just to have Dale Murphy sign because I'm like, hey, it's got the Atlanta logo. I'm going to have him put the 7-time All-Star inscription on it. So he's looking at it and he's like, what the hell is this? And I was like, well, that's this year's All-Star Game. He goes, it was in Colorado. I said, that's the All-Star Game that never was, And so I don't even know if I want to sell that baseball just because.
Right. You don't know.
I don't know that there's another one ever going to be out there with Dale Murphy's signature on it, So just interesting things like that. But the event itself, just to throw it out, other than the autographers, which obviously I spent most of my time at, was absolutely massive. If you guys haven't been there before, I would easily say, let's say 500 booths at least. I'm probably way low on that. I actually have a map and it might actually say, but it was outrageously huge. They had packed vendors into the foyer when you walked in, as well as into the Breakers Pavilion. Normally it's just Breakers up there, but they had to stick vendors up there because they had no more room. They completely ran out of room for vendors. It was absolute madhouse. The one thing I noticed on sports cards is nobody was trading and nobody was willing to make deals. I think they were trying to ride the wave this year, and nobody wanted to deals on anything. it was a little odd. I bought a lot of memorabilia. I didn't buy any cards at all. I bought a lot of memorabilia that was. I mean, I got a Pee Wee Reese bat that I talked the guy down from like $400 to $150. So I was making deals on memorabilia, but I couldn't make any deals on cards. So I just walked away. I wasn't gonna beg or plead or stick around for too long. I just walked away, you know.
Sure, absolutely.
So and I took a lot of good stuff to trade too. I was hoping to trade up. I like the T206s, so I was hoping to trade some of my newer graded stuff for some old stuff. But it's funny, the old guys are kind of like me. They don't want the new stuff either. So the guys that had the old stuff didn't want to trade for the new stuff, and that was what I brought to trade. So it was what it was. So, but I would recommend it highly to anybody that hasn't been to one. To mark it down. If you're on the East Coast, it'll be in Atlantic City next year. If you're in the Midwest, it'll be in Chicago. Only thing I wouldn't recommend doing is what I did and driving there from California. It was a fantastic drive that I will never do again. But anyway.
Well, I'm glad that you could turn around and join us. And, you know, it's always nice to even have somebody from the West Coast for a change, you know, joining us, and especially on our show tonight as we're literally cutting through the NFL predictions. Last year we almost got the Super Bowl right. We chose the opposite teams that didn't make it in, that made it, and we eliminated those. So we got close, but you know, we'll turn around and see what we do this year and see how close we come to actually nailing it. We'll turn around and, you know, keep our fingers crossed. Needless to say. Excuse me. Clint, why not kick off everything with the NFC North?
I figured you were gonna start with
Yeah. And as all these the AFC North folks are definitely going to be intrigued to check that out. So
get this crap over with.
Or we're gonna save your team for last. I'm just gonna start with probably the records. I got Green Bay. They're gonna win the division. Ain't no shoe-in about that.
Stunner. Stunned, I tell you.
Yeah.
Couple things coming out the Green Bay camp was Adam. You might like this one. Start Ryan Jr. and Dan Bray and two Michigan guys fighting for them 2 guard spots.
Runyon, if he's anything like his dad, he'll be fine.
Jordan Love have been struggling bad.
Again,
Yeah.
stunned.
Just bring a lot of bombshells coming out of there, Clint.
I know, yeah, it's Green Bay.
Hey,
They really don't have none.
Jordan loves my next door neighbor, so be nice to the kid. I mean, he's a good kid.
Hey, that's just what the Packer media, the Packer fans been saying. They've been ripping them like.
Hey, his mom told me he's doing fantastic. So
Bias much?
Well, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
The mom's always going to cover.
Right?
Mom's always going to cover for the boy.
One person they said have been standing out, but fortunately he ain't gonna make it. Probably is. I like his name, Joanne Winfrey, the wide receiver. They wide receiver is deep. It's deep. So he might not make it. All them guys.
If he does, the lads could probably use him.
Yeah. Inquiminius St. Brown, I got his name right. I studied that name.
What's the good word with Randall Cobb coming back? I mean, is he solid?
He's going to take his same role in that slot.
Is he?
Yeah. There were the 2 wide receivers still up. It's probably looking like it's going to be Lazard based on last year. But Aaron Rodgers really never had a number 2. So with the way they talking about Winfrey basically been playing this whole camp, I will say you have a chance, but they so deep he might not make the roster.
Wow.
Roster. This one about to be shocking. I had the Bears second at 8 and 9.
Really?
That's actually not too shocking. I could see that.
Stand out from them. I mean, God, I can't dog him, but Andy Dalton has been doing good in camp.
Your
Camp.
blood is boiling.
I was gonna say you can
It's
see how much
camp.
that pain. Like,
They've been raving about Justin Fields. Uh, Daryl Mooney has been having a great camp, and Cole Kmet, the tight end.
yep.
Now, this is the thing. They said Andy Dalton has been connecting with Kmet in camp. Fields has been Jesse James, the other tight end. So I don't know how that's gonna make a difference. Like if they play, their line is beat up, beat up, and Alex Ogletree has 9 interceptions since they started camp. He's a linebacker.
Uh-huh. So Andy Dalton's not doing that.
No, they all been coming from Chase Daniel.
Oh,
That sounds about right.
I was gonna say that sounds about right. Okay.
I have Minnesota third. I got them going 7-10. It's just the whole COVID thing. Kirk Cousins, Harrison Smith, Adam Thielen all said they're not vaccinated. They're going to lose a lot of forfeit games probably because of the COVID.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they lost staff members because they ain't getting vaccinated. The good thing about them has been Irv Smith Jr. They're real high on him. And then, of course, Justin Jefferson with the AC joint sprain. He should be back for the regular season. They signed a guy that's like 6'6". I forgot his name. I'm like, he's not a tall motherfucker. 6'6". Then, of course, Jeff Gladney, of course, we all know the corner. He got released for assault. So they just had a tumultuous off-season / camp. Don't forget they had a defensive tackle. I think they got shot. I think. But he's back in camp playing, though. And for the Lions, I have the Lions.
Be gentle. Be gentle.
Don't be gentle. Bring the ball back. That's fine.
Be gentle.
Better start with a big 0.
Oh, y'all gonna get some wins.
No.
I even wrote down the weeks y'all gonna get wins.
Oh yeah.
2022.
All 4 of them.
And
Gotta go
no,
for
it's
it,
that's not a
13.
playoff game.
I got them being Philly in week 8. I got them win the Thanksgiving game against Chicago.
Wait a minute. Week 8, so the first one isn't going to come until week 8?
Yeah, unfortunately, y'all gonna start.
Oh, that's gonna be a long couple.
Wow. Hey, I was even kinder. I turned around. I said they were going to beat the Bears in Chicago, and even beat the Bengals and the Rams before that.
See, you said you said do it as if like their whole team starting. So I put Joe Burrow in as a factor. If Joe Burrow wasn't playing yet, that'd be win number 5. I mean, y'all can't beat Ryan Finley. I mean, and then I have them winning.
We make backups look like all-stars, man.
And I had them winning the final game against Green Bay, but that's because Green Bay probably won't be playing for nothing. So
Everything will be locked up for Green Bay by then. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. They'd be playing for the number 1 pick, and they'd win that game and drop like 4 draft picks in the 4 spots in the draft.
Yeah.
They'll pull the Phillies when they missed on the chance for O.J. Simpson.
Yep.
Try to win the final game of the year.
little Chase Young 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, but it been some good news coming out about the Lions. I mean, this thing with Swift and Williams, gonna be a nice duo. Swift called them Swifty and Swag. That's the nickname he pampered them. And this the crazy part. Jared Goff has been favoring more connection with Williams than Swift. The thing with him and Hawkinson gonna be nasty. I already see it. Quintez Cephas has been doing good in camp. Amon-Ra St. Brown. God, I had to say both them brothers' names in the same division. Ain't that something?
I heard Hawkinson's going like in the first round of a lot of fantasy drafts, guys.
Liar.
Please do. Please
No,
do.
But when it comes to Amon-Ra St. Brown, no, they saying he been balling in camp though, like to the point where he can take that 2 from Pyramid. Don't know why they signed Rashad Perriman anyway. Guess what he been doing in camp?
Sitting on
Sitting
the
hurt.
bench, drinking water.
And when he ain't
Riding the
hurt,
bike.
dropping everything, he gets signed.
It's actually in his contract that when a team lets him go, he has to be signed by somebody else.
I can see
That's
that.
why he's around.
One person on the defense that stand out. I mean, they said Jeff Okuda gonna have a big year, but was Aleem McNeil? Y'all dropped him in the 3rd round. They said that man is light on his feet, being all the first. He had a nice battle with Frank Ragnow. Of course, we know him as the guy with the fractured throat.
Yeah.
Right.
Throat. So they said he's light on his feet. So he's been taking all the first team reps, and he's the 3rd round draft pick. Biggest issue is with the Lions. They said, one, y'all signed Quentin Dunbar and he's been pressing with the 3rd team. And y'all signed him as the number 2, potentially. And y'all kickers. Y'all can't kick shit from outside of 45. None of this camp. Camp.
Hey, easy now.
that's after
Parky
Matt
can't do
Prater.
shit either.
I was going to say.
Parky's been missing 40-45s in practice too.
Do we expect that from Double Doink Dub? He might lose his job to McLaurin.
Hang on, let's insult Cleveland when we get to them.
But yeah,
Sorry.
But they got Randy Bullock and Matt Wright. That's your kickers. And neither one of them might not even make the team.
We're going to run no kicker.
Yeah, I was going to
Go for
say.
2 every time. Go for 2 every 4th down.
Playing it like I play Madden. I don't need no stinking kickers. The first thing I do is cut the punter and cut the kicker.
We're going to play some FCF rules. 2-pointers the whole way.
Go for it on 4th down, baby.
All the time. One more thing they did say about Detroit, too. They said they got Jared Goff throwing the deep ball a lot.
Well,
4th and 20, not a problem.
Yeah, I know. I'm about to say, who was he throwing the deep ball to? Tyrell Williams?
Because we're going to be third. It's because they know we're going to be 3rd and 8, 3rd and 14 a lot.
Hopefully, Akuda get his ass in practice.
I did hear
for a final number record there, Clint.
Oh, I had him 4 and 13.
Ooh.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I did hear.
I was a little kinder. I actually got him 6 and 11.
Wow, that is being kind.
I got him at 6.
I would have gone more towards Clint's route, but gotten a little lower, like
It would've
around
been 5 and
2 or
12
3
if
little
they-
wins.
Well, then Burrow, the whole Burrow thing. I would have went 5 and 12, but you said go off at their start, so I assume they're gonna get a full healthy Joe Burrow. So yeah, 4 and 13.
I was reading today that another guy that's standing out. They said Deshaun Hand is finally healthy and he's looking like an animal out there. So
Yeah,
we'll see. And that'd be
they
nice.
said he showed. They said he showed down the scrimmage game. He showed down the scrimmage game. So. Got y'all a nice front, Okora. Got y'all a nice little defensive front.
I mean, there's some pieces there. It's just
Yeah.
it's the Lions. I mean, show
The key
me
in the
something
secondary
or
is gonna
just
be
shut the
Okuda.
hell up. You know.
He's the key.
We're
Oh,
tired
another
of it.
guy too that they've been raving about. They said his name is Mike Ford. He's like a safety, like undrafted
Yeah,
guy.
Yeah.
They've been showing out in camp. So,
Okay. Yeah, it's camp.
that's a guy y'all probably can look out for.
I mean, as we've discussed, Dalton's looking good in camp. So I mean,
Yeah,
that just
I know.
tells you exactly what the hell camp
Hey,
is.
God, man, I was looking for.
But he's got nobody going, no real defense going against him, too. So we'll see how the season progresses.
Yeah. So I'm gonna wait till the season starts and watch Andy Dalton blow up. But yeah, that's the NFC North though.
Mhm.
Green Bay wins it outright. I don't have no other team going 500 in that division.
Okay. Zolp, let's put Adam out of his misery.
You want me to start with him? I mean, I can.
No,
start
no,
with
no. He made us wait for Detroit. You can make me wait for Carolina.
Okay.
Just start with Tampa Bay and get it over with.
You want me to start with the champs?
Yeah.
The champs are here. I mean, we all know what last year was. 11-5, and from there on to glory. So
Lucky.
basically, the off season was, hey, let's keep the gang together. They extended Brady, and by extending them, they gave themselves some cap relief. I just looked, and they've cap relief. They have about under $500,000 in cap left, so they're right there. They franchised Chris Godwin, re-signed linebacker Levante David, Shaq Barrett, which was a big one. Basically, they re-signed everybody consequential. The team has a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense. So let's face it, they're going to make noise. At the same time, they also have a relatively light schedule. I don't want to hear nothing about no Brady collusion, NFL. No,
they do got an easy schedule.
Yeah, I know. You're right. Let's face it, they are the clear-cut divisional champs. I mean, they're the favorites. Probably favorites for the NFC. There's a couple teams you can throw in there that might take a shot at them, but they're Super Bowl champs and they returned everybody. So it'd be hard for me to call somebody else the favorite. It'd be really hard. The issues the team has, they actually have a lack of depth at offensive tackle, edge rusher, linebacker, and corner. So the reason I bring that up, they were remarkably healthy last year. Specifically, so the league last year averaged, here's stats guy for you. The league last year averaged 83.2 adjusted games per team lost due to injury / COVID. Tampa Bay, 30.
Damn.
Average was 83.
What was that?
Tampa Bay lost 30. Everybody was healthy.
Everybody on that training staff needs a pay raise.
30.
Immediately.
Yeah, no kidding.
But at the same time, that you can't keep that up. I mean, that's not just something that's just going to keep going and going and going. So if there's a couple key positions where if obviously you lose your offensive tackles, you're in trouble. Doesn't matter who you are. So definitely something to keep an eye out. This is Tampa Bay, and it's Tom Brady. Brady turns it on when he needs to. We've all seen it. It happens all the time.
Go Brady.
I've got them finishing. I've got them. Even saying that, I've got them finishing 13-4.
People playing best on them going undefeated. That's the crazy thing.
That's exactly
13-4.
13-4. Yep.
Well, then I'm curious. I'm curious where your losses are, because I have them losing at the Rams because it's early and Tom Brady doesn't care yet. At Washington, at the Colts, which I kind of think is iffy, especially now. But
that's a trap game. That's a trap
game.
Then
I got the Colts one,
and then home to Buffalo.
Yeah,
I have that one too. Yep, I have that one too. The only other two I've got is the last week against the Panthers because they'll rest everybody.
Yeah.
And then at the Eagles, actually.
Eagles? Why not?
Wow.
It's a lot of people that had to lose to the Eagles, though.
I got them because it's in. I got them at the Eagles, and Philly Stadium is just not, kind. And it's like, hey, guess what? Tom Brady does have one blow-up game in him, and I think that's the one. What's up, Rob? How are you? Yeah, so I agree. The Colts won, the Bills won, and like I said, the Panthers at the end because nobody's going to care. But yeah, the other oddball game is at the Eagles. So that's kind of interesting. Very interesting. Nice.
All right, we're going to move on down the list here.
Next.
Nolan. So you're coming off of your nice 12-4 season in 2020. You kind of have a quarterback issue, just a little bit of a one.
And a wide receiver issue.
Yeah, as of today, wide receiver issue.
Right. Yeah, and when I figured out record, I went on the assumption that Thomas will be back when he is supposed to. I personally don't think he will.
No.
But
And even when he's ready to come back, I don't think he's going to come back.
yeah, I'm not going to paint a very
traded by
rosy
deadline.
picture here.
Yeah, 100% Clint, 100%. He's
So-
starting to become a problem in that locker room.
Yes.
So obviously they have cap issues as well. I don't have that. I should get that up. But so through free agency, they signed a grand total of 3 players, and there's a name on here I don't even know if I'm going to attempt. But regardless, they signed tight end Nick Vannett, fullback
That guy.
Alex Armah, defensive end Tano something. Very long name.
Tuiasosopo?
Not quite. Nor was it Biakabutuka. The reason I brought up those 3 is because every other hole in this roster is being filled by either a rookie or just next man up. That was it. That was all they signed.
Oh,
loss.
New Orleans got problem.
Here's the losses. You lost Emmanuel Sanders and Jared Cook, and specifically those
They
are your
lost Jared
number.
Cook.
Yeah,
These
Cook
are,
is
these are your
gone.
number 2 and number 3 leading receivers on the team. Gone.
And number 1's out.
Number 1 is
So
out.
Wow.
You also
Good luck,
lost
Good luck.
off the defense. You lost Quan Alexander, Malcolm Brown, Janoris Jenkins, Trey Hendrickson, Sheldon Rankins, Alex Anzalone. Trey Hendrickson led your team with 13.5 sacks last
They
year.
lost their whole goddamn starting 7. All them
They
cats
lost-
started for them last year.
They lost 8 starters and a ton of veteran depth.
Ooh.
Zolt did way more research than I did.
I think you should recalculate that win-loss record now, because I'm seeing like low single digits there.
Let's just call it what it is. Drew Brees, his retirement just brought an end to the most successful period in that franchise's history.
Wow.
And,
I mean,
Good
just-
luck with Pitt Sixton Winston, people.
what'd you finalize them off at?
I'm not even there yet, sir.
Yeah.
He has to
Oh,
redo
wait,
it.
there's more.
But wait, there's more.
I think
All
those
right.
grocery bags with ain'ts written across it just went back up on eBay, didn't they?
All right, well, I'm going to hang up. I'll be back in about 45 minutes when Zolt's done with the Saints.
No. This will be quick. So obviously, Michael Thomas is the only returning established receiver, and we know what's going on there. So you've got that. You got Traquan Smith, who under 380 total receiving yards in his 3-year career. All their other receivers on the roster have a combined fewer than 500 yards receiving.
And you
Nobody
have
has experience.
Winston throwing them.
Yes, well, now you have your
Maybe.
quarterback issue. You have Hill.
You don't know what your quarterback is yet.
If Hill
Oh,
is
they
in
lost
there,
Jared Cook. They're just gonna put Taysom Hill at tight end and just roll with it. I mean,
if Hill is your
Well,
starting quarterback, expect a run-heavy offense, which
Yeah.
might
Duh.
actually fit with what you have right now because you don't have receivers.
who's their backup? Because Kamar's gonna miss at least 3 games this year.
Winston, we know what Winston is. Granted, Winston is one of 8 guys who threw for 5,000 yards in a season.
He also
You know?
threw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions.
Yeah, but he also
he's
had
thrown
about
like
50 passes.
700 interceptions, but you know,
Pick
whatever.
Sixton Winston. Whoever the Saints play, you pick the defense in fantasy. He's gonna give you at least one.
I feel I was awful generous. And I've got the Saints finishing 8 and 9.
That is
Whoa!
awful generous.
Oh
Hold
my
on.
god!
Hold on. I'm gonna say it's not just because of the fact that like Sean Payne's a hell of a coach. Coach.
You were much more generous than I.
That's fine.
5 and 12.
Will Alvin Kamara
Yeah,
get-
that's roughly 4 or 5.
5 and 12.
Will Alvin
Yeah,
Kamara
Yeah.
we're going to find out what
Are you
Sean
saying they're gonna have a
Payton
worse record than the Lions?
Listen,
Yeah.
if I'm the Saints, I'm calling the Browns right now and saying, hey, what would it take for us to get Odell Beckham down here?
Right?
You guys don't think that Alvin Kamara is just going to absolutely go off this year? Like he's their only receiver and their only running back.
With nobody else, everybody's going to be putting 8, 9 in the box. He's not
That's
going
the problem.
to be going anywhere.
That is the problem.
You know,
They have nothing else.
He's going to be lucky to break 1,200 yards this year.
Well, that's my question though, because that's what everybody does against Christian McCaffrey. Yet he still runs off 2,000.
Two different people, two totally different people. McCaffrey is a lot more bulkier than he is. You know, he could take that workload.
I'm of a different opinion. I think Kamara is a better back than McCaffrey. That's my opinion. You know, so that's why I asked. I think he has the opportunity to just be absolutely nuts. This year.
Their situation is going to be how last year when Dak got hurt. They just stuffed the box and they stuffed the box. Like, we're going to stop Zeke and we're going to let Dalton beat you. They like, we're going to stop Kamara and let Winston and then wide receivers beat you.
Yeah, but the difference is when the box got on Zeke just fell down. He didn't try to run. He just fell over every time they touched him.
Yeah.
So this year is really going to make a testament of how good Kamara really is.
Peyton too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think this is really going to determine
this is a make or break for
kind of
him.
coach Peyton is.
Yeah. All right. Who do you got?
And right now,
hang on.
Now, honestly, I don't see him breaking 1,200 yards. Maybe four touchdowns. Maybe.
All right. We got to kick up next team up.
Well, since I was asked to hold Carolina until the end. I'm going to give you the last place team in the division, the Atlanta Falcons. So you actually added Mike Davis in the offseason. That's not a terrible running back. Tried to work on the defense a little bit with Barkevius Mingo.
That's not working on no defense.
Eric Harris. I wasn't done. Salary cap is a concern. I can't even tell you how much of a concern it is. You literally had to redo Matt Ryan's deal, which basically forced you to keep him in the next year if you weren't already. You are now forced into it because his dead cap hit next year is $40 million. And your cap forced you to trade Julio Jones. I mean, maybe you already planned on it, but you really had no option. But now you've got Arthur Smith as your head coach. Expect him to run. O-line has unfortunately decreased from very good to average. You got at least 2 new starters in that group of 5, possibly more. Your defense is a question. You brought defensive coordinator Dean Pease out of retirement to run your defense. Now, the good part is it should be at least entertaining because, as Pease says, he's like, we will blitz from everywhere.
Okay, Jerry Glanville.
Okay.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
I just think this team, the personnel are just not up to the task. And you don't have the depth. You don't have the stars that you had. You have Matt Ryan. That's about it. I have them finishing 5-12.
I see that.
Yeah, I gave them 7 and 10. I gave them a couple extra.
You were generous.
Yeah. Well,
split the difference 6-11.
It was the Jets, man. I mean, it was the Jets, the Patriots. They'll be in Atlanta. I figured, why the hell not? All right,
let's get Carolina. Let's get to the hit. Okay, Carolina. I mean, you added Sam Darnold. I mean, what more could you ask for? I mean, you should be giddy. I mean, it's.
You ain't excited for Sam Darnold?
Okay.
Adam, I'm going to be that way in about 20 minutes. Don't worry.
You're not going to get much out of Sam Darnold.
No, your rebuild is progressing. I actually talked about it when we did this last year. I mean, this is a rebuild. There's no question. 5-11 in 2019, 5-11 in 2020. Believe it or not, this is a much better 5-11 than the last one was. You're actually more efficient in your plays, both offense, defense, even special teams. Your efficiency's improved. You only had losses by 8 points or more 3 times, twice to Tampa Bay and once in New Orleans in the last game of the season. You only have one projected starter that is older than 29. This is a young squad, and it's hopefully only going to get better. Your issue is your offensive line is now starting your 8th left tackle in 8 years. That's not great, and this is going to be a rookie. This is going to be your 3rd round pick, Brady Christensen. So we'll see how he does. Your run D improved from joke status in 2019 to league average, which is mainly attributable from Derek Brown, your draft pick last year. Your pass defense lost Luke Kuechly, Mario Addison, and Eric Reed in 2019. You went from the 2nd oldest to 3rd youngest. So again, you're just making progress. You also signed Hassan Reddick. You drafted J.C. Horn. Carolina, they're making moves. They're at least attempting to get better. They're not on the downside. They're on the upside. But the fact of the matter is that offense is going to live or die with what Darnold does. If he does well, they might be able to make it to 500. I don't think you want him to do well. I think you want him to suck it up and then go from there. I have them finishing at 6-11, so just above Atlanta.
I went
But
8 and
the
9.
future looks bright.
I slotted them about.
Future looks bright. Got to wear shades.
500. I said 8 and 9. I mean, it could be a pretty good coin flip. Good night, Jane. Yes, 4 a.m. does come around very quickly. Great to see you.
I get up at 5.
Hi, Jane. I think it's a youth thing with the parents.
Yeah, I went 8 and 9 with them. I kind of thought they'd have about a 50-50 season. It's like you could pretty much really look at the schedule and go, yeah, you can almost coin flip a lot of it.
It's Sam Mono. What you coin flipping?
Well, look at the bright side. He doesn't have Adam Gase anymore. There's one upside. I'm trying to be optimistic.
That is a huge upside. That shit was a debacle with the check. My man in the press conference said, I seen ghosts on the field. I'm like, that's your quarterback, people. That guy. Okay. He might do better, though. He got better weapons.
Well, remember, what was the bet that I had? I said that if he did a certain record, if he did a decent year, I'd buy his jersey.
You'll wear the jersey.
I'll buy his jersey.
You know, well, like I said, we'll get to see what Darnold is going to be able to do. Sorry, Bruiser, your wood was clanging together.
Easy now. Not after 9 yet.
Hey, now. I can be taken one of 2 ways.
Right. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All right.
Hint, hint, nod, nod.
Doug,
Oh, boy.
bring on the. Okay, and especially because Chris is out there on the West Coast. Let's turn around and kick off a couple of West Coast ordeals. So go ahead and jump on that AFC West. This I've been looking forward to all week.
All right, so we're going to go from bottom to top. Bottom, Denver. They got no quarterback. They got a decent defense that's always going to keep them in the game, but quarterback, no. I see them finishing off at 4-13 with wins to both the Giants and Jets, Philly, and Detroit. Next up is Vegas. I'm probably a little bit of a homer on this because I love my Raiders. The only thing in the offseason I really hated with the Raiders is they kept Jonathan Abram. And I totally understand that because it's a contract situation, but I can't stand the fucking dude and I want him gone now. He single-handedly lost at least 3 games that I could remember, and he is a penalty machine, in my opinion. I have them at 9-8.
Ooh.
Yeah, some games could probably go either way, but I got them at 9-8.
I gave them 11-6.
Wow, you're being generous. We got to compare win-loss here later.
We'll do that later, but yeah, I gave them 11-6. I give them a little bit more credit.
Now here is where I got laughed at by you. Kansas City, I am actually putting in second place at 13-4 with losses to Buffalo, Tennessee, Green Bay, and a home game against the Chargers, which leads us to the Chargers at 14-3, winning the division. With losses going at Kansas City, the first game, which is week 3, at Baltimore, and then the last game at Vegas, because at that point it don't matter. We saw what Heber could do in 15 games. Let's see what he could do in 17 games.
Huh.
And you got a little confusion on your face, G.
Yeah. I actually have the Chiefs and Chargers both at 12-5. Man,
I'm gonna say this about the Chargers. I could see it. What was their record last year? I think they lost Joey Bosa for half of the season. They didn't have Austin Eckler for 75% of the season.
Right. You got a full Eckler. You got Keenan Allen, who is just a reception machine. Yeah. He got I think I looked it up at 140 something targets with 120 something caught. So he is just like a catching machine. The offensive line got better through the draft. I can't wait to see what this kid does. I honestly can't. And I know it's a division rival, but I love me some ball, and I want to see him air it out.
Okay. Chris, any thoughts on the ordeal on the West Coast on that?
Yeah, I don't think Justin Herbert's any good.
Really?
And I'm not trying to. I think he plays perfect in that system. I don't think he's a very good quarterback. I think Joe Burrow easily wins Rookie of the Year last year if he didn't get hurt. I wasn't impressed with him, and I don't think that they're that great of a team. So I disagree. I think Kansas City will walk away with that division. But I honestly think the Raiders will be second for sure. That's just my opinion.
Well, I hope the Raiders are second. That means they're in the wild card.
I did not do the extensive research that you guys did. I actually didn't even know you were doing NFL tonight. So I'm just throwing my opinion out there, and that's completely wrong.
That is quite all right.
I barely did any research.
We like
myself.
We like to turn around and we like to get a fan's honest opinion, especially, yeah.
We'll see.
I love that everybody's buying my Justin Herbert cards, and I hope they continue to until he, it becomes Sam Darnold. But I just saw a lot of things I didn't like about him. I think his mechanics weren't great when I watched him play last year. I wasn't that impressed with the guy, but he won games and he threw for a lot of yards. So who knows?
Well, I do agree with you. It is the system, just like
which is why I think he's gonna just light it up.
Mike Shanahan had a great system for running backs, and so yeah, there are some quarterbacks. It's just going to be the right system at the right time.
Yeah.
So
and right now, the Chargers defensively, I think, are better than Kansas City, and because Kansas City will give up 30 points a game easy, but then they'll score 40. Chargers, I think, will at least keep them in the game and maybe even win a game or two for Heber on games that he might not be his best. Kansas City defense can't win if something happens to Mahomes, but I think the defense can win if something happens to Hebert.
I do agree with that for sure.
Can they get Chris Harris too?
Chargers, yeah, I think so.
top 5 corner.
All right. AFC East, Mr. Shrods.
Last year, about this time, I was talking about the AFC East, and honestly, they had one of the toughest schedules for a conference or for a division that I had ever seen. This year, outside of Buffalo, it's the exact opposite. Their schedules are absolute jokes. So these rankings are actually, it was really interesting doing the analysis this year because I thought I was going to have Buffalo in the rest, but based on their schedules, actually, I think that this could be a very competitive division. I'm going to start from the top, work the way down, starting with obviously, I think Buffalo. From everything I've seen, they're number 3 on the list of potential Super Bowl, either winners or second making it to the Super Bowl coming out of the AFC. I think the biggest thing for them, I mean, one, they locked up Josh Allen, which I think is huge. Not having that, hump on the back starting the year and having to go through that, all year and, what's going to happen. I think that's a huge, piece right there. I think the biggest question mark for them is going to be at the running back position. Running back and then also their offensive line. They continue to swap guys around. They brought back in Darrell Williams from the Panthers. So I still feel like the running game is going to be one of their biggest questions. And then what do they do actually at running back? Strength-wise, wide receiver core is continuing to stay strong. And I know Dave had mentioned Emmanuel Sanders was gone. Well, he went to Buffalo. So, I mean, now you got a position, that slot position that used to be one of their biggest, opportunities, biggest issues. Now you got Beasley and Sanders, who are both, those third down guys. They're going to move the chain. They're fast. They're quick. They don't drop the ball. I mean, those guys are, potentially lightning on top of, that freaking wide receiver George took over me last year.
Well,
sorry, George, had to throw that.
I happen to wear the Singletary jersey today just for you, because
Nice.
with all those wide receivers, there's a running back who's probably finally going to look like he's good, but he'll be consistent.
It's possible. I mean, you always hear, you run the ball to open up the passing game. This team's going to be, one of those teams that passes to open up the running game. So it'll be interesting with Singletary and Moss, Zach Moss, and even, I mean, Matt Breida picking him up too. Do they run by committee? Do they run Singletary? It'll definitely be interesting. I think the other piece, looking at their schedule, I mean, God, their road games are freaking atrocious. They have to go at New England in the winter, December 26th. They have to go at Tampa Bay, Super Bowl champions. They have to go at Kansas City, Super Bowl champions and runners-up from the last 2 years. They're at New Orleans, which playing, no matter how bad New Orleans is, they still have to go down and play in the Superdome. I mean, their away schedule is absolutely ridiculous. Even with all of that being said, I still have them at 12-5. I feel like their defense is going to get better. And one of my biggest, probably one of my most favorite draft picks was them taking that Gregory Rousseau, the defensive end from Miami. I feel like he was really down this year because of some of the injuries and some issues that he had in college. But I feel like that guy could just be absolute amazing on that defense and the way they have it set up. And adding him on the end, I mean, he could just be one of those sack machines. So I got them at 12-5. Key losses. I forgot also they have to go at Tennessee too. So not only that's how bad they're forgetting about at Tennessee with all the other games they're playing. So, but I still got them going 12-5.
I got them undefeated. I know.
What are you drinking? Can I get some
water? It is water. Yes, I even had. I know I shocked Zolt earlier when I snuck it up. I'm like, listen, I get about at the Chiefs or at the Titans, but you've played them enough already that you've got your book report on them. The one that is going to be the coin flip, and I think it's an overtime sneak, is at the Bucs. Nice warm weather late in the season. No sweat. Why not? And of course, now that I say that, watch, they'll probably just lose right to the Steelers right out the gate. of course, just because I said they'll probably go undefeated. I think the schedule's actually too easy. I think the schedule's very easy. I think that they've got the playbook on the Chiefs and Titans. The Saints, it's going to be so god awful. As mentioned earlier, you lost your whole defense. So I think that one's just atrocious. I think it's an overtime thriller at the Bucs, and they sneak it in and just come up and bag it all. I really do. I think they're going to pretty much, the Miami Dolphins are going to sit there and go, the 72 Dolphins are going to go asterisk that season. They had more games. There won't be no asterisk. I simply think, just from how I looked at it, I was like, why not? I mean, it really does look that simple.
Fair enough. I mean, outside of those games, some of the, obviously they have the Jets twice. I mean, it's the Jets. They also, they get to play Jacksonville. Indianapolis is not looking as good as what they used to. So, I don't know. We'll see. It'll definitely be interesting. Jumping to number 2 team.
You get the Texans, too. I mean,
I think the Bills was one of them games to the Patriots.
The Steelers, Washington, and the Texans. I mean.
Yep. I mean, the one questionable game that I had was the late in the year at New England. I feel like if it was earlier in the year, I feel a little bit more comfortable about that. I feel like by that time, well, actually, speaking of New England, they're next on the list. I actually have them coming in at 11-6. You want to talk about a team that completely has revamped themselves? They're going to have over 50% of their offense and defense, not necessarily brand new, but if you guys remember last year, kind of the same thing. This is kind of my spiel for the East. But last year we were talking about all the guys that were sitting out, and if you guys remember, New England was the hardest hit team for veterans sitting out from COVID, and we weren't talking like second, third, fourth stringers. I mean, these were all pro guys that were sitting out. Dante Hightower, guys like that on defense, and so all of those guys are back. On top of the highest spending spree the New England Patriots have had since freaking Belichick has come to the team. I mean, the things that they did on offense are you basically pretty much have a whole new offense on that team. Every single one of their wide receivers is new. Both of their tight ends are brand new. One of the numbers
Henry's already out. They just announced today he's out injured.
Oh, really? I did not see that. That'll be interesting. Did they say how long, or was it minor, or is it something big? We'll take a look at it. But
yeah, go ahead. I was going to say, Henry just it was a story that was on NFL Network this afternoon too, and I was like, damn.
I'll have to check that out.
Billy's just trying to get these guys together.
Yeah, the thing that I think stood out to me most about the
Belichick's
team
in his.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Belichick's in his 70s, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
How long until he retires?
Until he wins a Super Bowl without Tom Brady.
I was just going to say.
Yeah.
Gibbs was 74 when he came back and coached. So
I would say he probably at least has another 4 or 5 years in him. I think he wants to coach with Mac Jones, see how he does there. See if he can get another one without Brady.
I don't think he's as old as Pete Carroll, is he? I think Pete Carroll's the oldest.
Pete Carroll's older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that contest that Carroll is a little older.
Oh, I would have won. See, why didn't you invite me that night?
Well, because at the time, because
was it Romeo Cornell? I think you said
Cornell is the oldest.
Yeah.
So, how about Romeo Cornell?
That was
Pete Carroll. If you're comparing Pete Carroll to Bill Belichick looks like the Wicked Witch of the East when the house got dropped on her. And Pete Carroll's looking like Glenda the Good Witch. Like, it's a complete and utter night and day difference.
Oh, no comparison. I was just saying, yeah. But I agree that I think he'll coach until he's going to try to win one without. Now he needs a quarterback because he ain't going to do it with Superman. So hopefully Mac Jones is the guy. I like Mac Jones, but we'll see.
Results from the MRI are not released yet, so they said it's not too serious, but he will miss some time. So for him,
Got it.
So
yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing with them that stood out. So they signed Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, Marvin Hall, Hunter Henry, and John U. Smith. Combined, just last year alone, those guys had 216 receptions, 3,000 receiving yards, and 35 total touchdowns. The Patriots' entire team last year only had 5 receiving touchdowns. So you want to talk about an offensive upgrade right off the bat. I mean, you're looking at bringing in some actual talent. And then again, I mean, like I said, that defense, I mean, you got Dante Hightower coming back, all pro. You got Kyle Van Noy coming back from the Dolphins. Yeah, he sucked with the Lions, but he had a hell of a career with the Patriots.
I like Kyle Van Noy. I want the Browns to pick him up.
Yeah, I mean, he's looked good. I mean, when he got outside there, and then one of the picks, another pick. I mean, I think the AFC overall just had a really strong draft. But Christian Barmore from Alabama, when they picked him up, he just reminds me of like that Vince Wilfork type. Just run stuffer right in the middle. You put him there, and I mean, you're not going to be able to run the ball down the middle on that defense with those linebackers and that line. Their defense is going to be 100 times better. The biggest question is, I mean, as it's been probably for the last 2 years, is does Stephon Gilmore even play? So, I mean, if he plays, that defense instantly gets 10 times better. If he doesn't, that secondary is going to be a little rough.
I popped him at 5 and 12.
Really?
Because of all of that new pieces for offense, the chemistry just will not be there, and Cam will have his meltdown.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, they got a very easy schedule, though. I think that's why I leaned. I mean, I was last year I was way under on it. I mean, I think I only had them at 5 or 6 wins. And
yeah, I was going to say last year I know you had them pretty low. You had them lower too.
They still eked out a few more than that. I mean, I have them at 11 and 6, and that's mostly because of their schedule. I mean, again, they got some cupcakes. They got Jacksonville. I actually have them winning at Indy just because who the hell knows what's going to happen with that team and where they'll be at.
I did too. I got them at the Colts.
Well, yep, I mean, they got Houston, New Orleans at the beginning of the year, so I actually gave them that. They don't have to go to New Orleans, so a little bit of an easier schedule this year. Miami, I have them right behind the Patriots at 10 and 7. Same thing, easier schedule. I feel like, I mean, that team, I feel like their average age is like 22. They're a bunch of first and second round draft pick team, and I feel like each year they're just going to get better and better. I mean, the biggest question with them is without Fitzpatrick, as the crutch, can Tua turn it into his team? And I mean, this last draft, this offseason, Miami did everything they possibly could to, outside of getting an actual running game, a running back, but with the wide receivers, drafting a guy that he was familiar with, in Waddle, bringing in Will Fuller, take it or leave it. But I mean, signing Malcolm Brown, the old Rams running back, could be an interesting season for them. But again, I mean, the biggest question is on the offensive side is, what does Tua do? I know Suds isn't here, so a shout out for Suds. I know that's his favorite player. But yeah, I mean, I think key things too. I mean, on defense, they did lose Van Noy, some other key losses, but bringing in Jalen Phillips, pass rusher, and then having that Brian Flores type defense should be an interesting, defense for the Dolphins this year. And
I popped them for 6 and 11 because I've got a very bad gut feeling about Tua. I think it's like you said it last year. You had Fitzpatrick running strong. Why would you turn around and pull him out and then turn around and shove Tua right down everybody's throat? I really think this is an ugly situation where the fans could, and even it could just look like, hey, you thought you had a Patrick Mahomes and you don't.
I think that could also be a good thing for Tua too, though, because I felt like Tua always played with Ryan Fitzpatrick right on his ass. Like,
Yeah, but
if I
he wasn't
mess up,
supposed to. He wasn't supposed to be there yet.
he wasn't supposed to be
The-
starting. Then
Well, I
wasn't
think they
Ryan
rushed.
Fitzpatrick starting, and then they took Ryan Fitzpatrick out in the midst when they were fighting for the playoffs and started.
Yeah, they actually had a
They
winning
should've did that
record,
to
and they
begin
Yeah,
with.
they had right. Like I said, and that's ignorance out of Miami, and I think that may come back to bite them. I really do. I think
I
that
feel like Tua always played with his with his head behind him though. Like
yeah,
he
it just
played in
depends. I mean,
fear.
yeah, exactly. Did that ruin his psyche forever, or was it just his rookie season? And can he get over it? If he can get over it, I feel like this is a 10-7 type team. If he can't get over it, I mean, George very easily they could get
Yeah.
only 5 wins. Another team with a very
How
easy
about
schedule. They got they got the Jets twice. They play Jacksonville. They play Houston. The odd part about this is the beginning of their schedule is a freaking nightmare. They have to go at New England. They have to play Buffalo. They got to go at Vegas. The Indy game doesn't look as tough anymore. I actually have them winning that, but then they got to go to Tampa, at Tampa Bay. That's their first 5 games. After that, it gets much easier. But should be an interesting year for them. Last team up on the list was the Jets. I mean, coming off a 2-win season, I don't see it getting much better. I got them at 3-14. The only wins I actually have them versus Atlanta. They get Atlanta at home. I got them winning at Houston, and I have them winning they get Jacksonville at home as well. Outside of that, I mean, they did make some decent additions. The defensive line actually could be probably the strongest unit on this team. But they're still way too young. They got question marks all over the offensive line. I mean, obviously, you're going to be starting a rookie quarterback who doesn't have a lot of options at wide receiver. Running game is an absolute freaking nightmare. The whole Le'Veon Bell experiment didn't work.
Tevin Coleman is the starting running back for the Jets.
Yeah, I think he's horrible.
That's bad. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, that's not.
Tevin Coleman's
I
no
was going to
good.
say again. It's the system, and I don't know.
Tevin
actually-
Coleman just bad and can't stay healthy.
Well,
That's been his niche since Atlanta.
I'll give you a little bit of that, but when he was in Frisco, he did just fine. So
Well,
Again, you probably
San Francisco had
Yeah.
an offensive line, tight ends,
Yeah.
not a rookie quarterback. I don't know. If they get more than 4 or 5 wins, I think it would be a good, if not great, season for that team.
yeah, don't get me wrong. I only put him at 5-12.
And I'm not sold on Zach Wilson as a quarterback. I'm not a believer in Zach Wilson. Like, I think he's gonna be a bust.
Oh no, we'll get to the bus, kid. Don't you worry. We're gonna get to the bus. Maybe I shouldn't have had the NFC. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea. We'll get to the buster. Don't you worry. No, I agree. I don't think they'll get that many wins, but it's like I think 5-12 was significant enough. So, I think they'll pop a couple surprises, including the Patriots.
I say that too. They'll probably upset a team that they shouldn't.
Right. The first one, I got them right out the gate. The Patriots at home, the home game, they win. And Bill Belichick just loses his mind.
What I find interesting is that as we're going through these win-loss records, I keep on hearing, oh yeah, this team will beat Jacksonville, that team will beat Jacksonville.
Whoa! Just
don't.
hold on. We haven't gotten to Adam yet. Relax.
Jacksonville 0-16.
Not
17.
even close.
0-7. Oh,
No.
that's right. God, keep forgetting.
Not even close.
Yeah, 17 games now.
Oh, that's the East.
All right. But just Bruiser, are you squared away to roll or?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, let's rock and roll with you.
So I had the North, and they're playing the
I'm not hearing anything.
AFC West.
We can
I
hear
had
Doug.
the AFC. I had the AFC North, and they're playing the AFC West and the NFC North this year. And looking at it, the one, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Browns fan, but the one schedule out of that division that has me a bit perplexed is this 8-week run that the Browns have where they play almost in succession the Patriots, the Steelers twice, the Ravens, the Chargers, and then they end the season with the I think they end the season with Jacksonville. But they start the season with the Chiefs. And it's a rematch of the second round of the playoffs. And I have a sneaking suspicion that the Browns are going to come out a little bit angry in that game. Now, with that 8-week run of a really tough schedule late in the season, it could either make or break the Browns season. So you could either see them go, I had them at 11-5, but if they start losing confidence, I really think that they could end up at 7-10.
You're missing
You're
missing a game in there. 11-5 is only 16. You need one more.
No, you said 7-10.
No.
Sorry,
You said
11-6.
Okay.
Excuse me for missing a game. I'm not used
No,
to the
I
17
didn't.
games yet.
I didn't know if you wanted to.
Messed it all up.
I didn't know where you wanted to add the extra game, if in the plus or the minus. That's why I was asking.
No. So I can see him going.
My
So I
God,
can see him going 11-6, 12-5, or if they have a poor performance towards the end of the season in November, December, I can see him at 7-10.
No, you're good. I had them at 12-5 myself.
And on the flip side of that, the Bengals have one of the easiest schedules in the division. They have Joe Burrow. They have a burgeoning young team. Things fall their way. And if the Browns slip, you might see the Bengals vie for a wild card spot. Now, ultimately, I think the Bengals are going to end up probably around the 8-9 category. 7-8 wins, 9-10 losses. I think that's where they're probably going to end up. The Steelers, they're in the basement. Let's face it. Roethlisberger's on the way out. They don't have the defense that everybody was afraid of anymore. They don't have the running game that everybody was afraid of anymore. And their wide receivers the past couple of years have made miraculous catches, but haven't put up the production that we're used to seeing Steelers receivers and the Steelers offense put up. You went 11-0 last year and then fell on your face, and we saw what you really were. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Especially that horrid game in the playoffs. I think the Steelers are a 4-win team.
Ooh, you were kind. I gave them 3.
I think the Steelers are a 4-win team. And with the Ravens, I'm sorry, to quote Ric Flair, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And until the Browns can prove that they can beat the Ravens are going to win the division this year. And I think they go a solid 13-4.
Okay, I had them at 12-5, right along with Cleveland. Yeah, that's fair enough, and especially because this division's got the easier grouping. I agree. They got the easier grouping of the schedule, and yeah, Diane, the Steeler fans will be piling on us horribly, but yeah, I said 3-14, and the only 3 I even see, I see the shockers of they get the Raiders early on. They'll beat the Broncos because the Raiders it's in Pittsburgh. They get the Broncos in Pittsburgh and they get the Bears in Pittsburgh. Those are the only 3 I see them even win.
I actually see Raiders taking Pittsburgh.
Quite possible.
Yeah, I can see the Raiders being Pittsburgh.
Oh, like I said, it's early enough that it can be one of those trap games early on.
Is your guys' predictions totally based on their offense, or do you feel like their defense could carry them to a few more wins?
Right now, there's a little bit of a problem with the defense. There's a few more holes.
I think that Ravens defense is going to surprise some people, and I think that they're going to rely heavily on that defense for a couple of games, and it's going to pull them out.
No, I meant the Steelers.
Oh, the Steelers defense? No, that it's not the vaunted Iron Curtain that it once was in the even in the early 2000s and into the that ship has sailed. I would not be surprised if Mike Tomlin was looking for a new job at the end of the year. Not because he got fired, but because it's time to move on because that's not going to be going anywhere for a couple of years.
Do you guys think a couple of things? Number one, I honestly feel that the rookie of the year is going to come down to Chase or Najee Harris. Those are my two guys, I think. And my other question was, I personally think that the Bengals are going to pull it out. I think this is their year. I think this is their year to compete with Baltimore for it. I agree with you guys on the Steelers not winning it, but I don't know what you're seeing on the defense. I mean, there's still many NFL sites have them ranked as the best defense in the NFL. So I'm confused on that one because they're stacked. They're absolutely stacked at every position.
No, they're not. You can't. You could have the best defense in the league. If your offense is going out and getting 3 and outs or can't hang on to the ball,
your defense gets gassed.
Baltimore won 2 Super Bowls.
I say after Ravens, then that 2000 Ravens team had no offense.
I was going to say, but also look at who was coaching them too.
I think it's predicated though on Najee Harris. If Najee Harris is as good as advertised and they can run the ball, I personally think Deontay Johnson is a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL in the next couple years.
Again, the Steelers won 11 in a row, and then they lost 6 straight.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just asking. I think their defense is that good, but I do agree if their offense can't perform, it's going to be hard with their defenses out there the whole game.
Well, and the funny thing is they everybody always keeps putting Pittsburgh's defense up there, but it's kind of funny because even as we play fantasy when we're relying on that info even to turn around and play into fantasy football, and once you go starting those defenses, the points just aren't adding up, and it's because there are holes. You can be stacked. You don't have the correct depth in all the position. And if you don't have that depth, your guys are getting gassed by the third quarter and you're hosed. I mean, they got real lucky and nobody saw it. We didn't even see. And an 11-0 start out of Pittsburgh last year. Nobody saw that coming. That was purely out of the blue, out of nowhere. And then to turn around and basically everybody went, well, now we believe we've got the blueprint, and everybody used the blueprint and said, okay, we got these guys numbered. And they lost, like Bruiser said, they dropped 6 in a row. So,
but I think, George, to your point, I think part of that was exactly what you just said, the depth piece. I feel like they have depth to win more than 3 games or 4 games, just purely based on that defense. And if Roethlisberger, he doesn't need to be Roethlisberger of old. He can just manage the game, turn it around, hand it to the freaking rookie Harris. I mean, if he can have a decent season, I mean, they still got weapons on offense. Their wide receivers aren't horrible. I don't know. I just feel
but the offensive line is what's hurting, and that's their downfall. Is that
fair enough? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you got Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt, Devin Bush, Joe Hayden, Mika Fitzpatrick. I mean, I don't care what my freaking offense is like. You give me a defense like that, and
it's like a Pro Bowl. It's like you see a Pro Bowl, and it's like the Pittsburgh defense. Like it's the best defense, one of the best defenses I've ever seen. But I agree with you. If they're on the field for 48 minutes, they're not going to. I mean, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to do it.
Yeah, it won't be.
I think personally, I think it's predicated on Najee Harris. If the dude can run the ball, and you're right, if their O-line sucks, I don't know. I'm not a Pittsburgh fan. If their O-line sucks, he might not be able to. But I have him up there as a rookie of the year guy. Like I don't have the quarterbacks this year in it. I think it's going to come down to the running back.
Oh, I agree with you. I think Chase will definitely make, and that is what's going to propel the Bengals up. I agree with you on that, and that's why I even had the Bengals at 9-8, because I think that they definitely keep Burrow upright. That's first and foremost. But to have a wide receiver that he's already got chemistry with, I definitely think that it will be much better. And yes, a couple of games here or there, and we're looking at a 3-team race between Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Baltimore.
I think it might be the best division in football this year. I mean, they might not all be 13-game winners. Like I just think they're all going to be great. They're all going to beat the shit out of each other all season long. It's going to be fun.
Speaking of division that will beat the shit out of each other, I'll turn around and start with the NFC West and get that ball rolling, because this division will beat the crap out of each other all day long. This is, these guys are all sitting around 8-9, 9-8, and I have the Seahawks starting off at 10-7. Of course, that's if they turn around and sign their damn offensive guard that they should have taken care of this morning. But apparently, yeah, that could freaking change too. But if they don't turn around and literally get done what they need to be getting done, they may not see that 10-7 record. But I do turn around and believe that they're. Like I said, once they get the guard signed in, their defense has been solidified as far as the line. Their offensive line has been solidified. And yes, they're going to start off 0-2. But after that, they go even to 2-2. And it's going to be back and forth pretty much the whole year, except when they get to the end of the season where they get the Texans and the Rams and the Bears, and then finish up with the Cards. You know, it's kind of a little bit of a cakewalk to hit a quick 4-win stretch there.
Yeah, they need to take care of Dwayne Brown. Like, y'all need to lock him up. Like,
yeah.
Russell, I don't get it. Russell been a model. He just asked for one thing. He's like, can y'all just please lock my left tackle up?
And they said
they prioritize Jamal Adams first, though. So.
And this is Russell Wilson's 10th year. And it's like, you know, if
can't allow him to slide forever, he's gonna get broke up eventually.
Yeah, you're gonna fall apart big time.
10th year, he's still gonna get sacked about 50 times.
He wasn't even sacked 50 times last year. What are you talking about?
Okay, 46.
Not even close, Doug. Next up, next up, the 49ers. I've got them at 9-8 because I think structurally they are still intact. If number 5 hits the field, it will be an epic disaster, and it could definitely flip and fall apart because the rookie has zero business being starting whatsoever. But Jimmy Garoppolo, like I said, outside of a couple of these, you know, the division games, your schedule's pretty much easy to deal with the Texans and the Falcons. The Vikings could be a disaster. You got the Eagles, you got the Bears, you got the Jags. You know, it's very simple. It could go 500. Well, just over or under 500. And it's literally the same argument for the Rams and the Cards, who I have at 8-9, and that could even flip one game here or there as well, just because of that. Like I said, this division will beat the snot out of each other.
Yeah.
I think I literally have them exchanging wins and losses against each other the whole season.
The division winner won't be announced until the final game, probably.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the last week, and I could, you could even say that Seattle would even be 9-8 or 8-9 easily too. These guys will beat the hell out of each other and just barely flip flop in between playing each other. When they've got to play, the NFC North and the NFC East, and I think the AFC South is their other grouping. So, I mean, it's not like they can't turn around and get those victories and sneaking those victories in.
Yeah.
I think this division will be the tightest one, kind of like we thought the AFC North was going to be last year. If we had a healthy Burrow last year, the AFC North was going to be the tightest. I think this year, this is the group that is the tightest one, especially after, I mean, as much as we want to pick about Matthew Stafford, there are just some games where that team just is different with Stafford, who has the experience of literally flinging the ball and running for his life. Actually, this may benefit that they've got a stronger arm in with the Rams. So that's why I'm thinking that this could be a very tight race with this division.
I think you're getting both. You're getting two teams out of this division for sure. Just like I think with what we just said in the AFC North. I'm with you. I'm a Niners fan, but all I keep hearing is everybody, Niners are going to run away with this division. Niners are going to run away. I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah, I heard that on ESPN this morning too, and
I just keep hearing it, and I hate it. I agree with you. If Garoppolo plays, we're going to win, just because Garoppolo wins. When he's on the field, they don't lose. I mean, I don't like him. I don't want him as my quarterback. I hope the other kid is good and plays in a couple years, but I don't want him to play this year. But that's just as a fan. I think the Rams are going to be fantastic this year. I think Stafford is 10 times better than Goff. Not really, but he's way better than Goff. And Sean McVay, I argue he is right there with Belichick. He's the new Sean Payton. I love him. I think he's fantastic. Kyler's good. I honestly think Seattle finishes fourth in this division, to be honest. I think the other three teams are just better. But the offense in Arizona is going to be ridiculous. I just don't know about the.
That's if Kyler could get rid of the ball instead of taking off on it.
Yeah, that's going to be the only problem. Is I think with Arizona, it's all Kyler Murray and his mental game.
Yeah,
and
Kyler above. Kyler D-Hop or above.
Well, and especially because, AJ is now over there. He's now listed as a starter too. That's kind of weird to say AJ Green and, as a starting wide receiver opposite D-Hop, you're just like, it's still hard to imagine. But AJ's also got to be healthy to turn around and be on the field.
Well, they got a ton of receivers, right? There's some guy. Is his last name Lawrence, or there's some rookie or young guy there too that they're predicting. I mean, fantasy wise, they're predicting to have a hell of a year as a third receiver.
But he's got to see the field though too, because he's also.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, how's he going to see the field when you got D-Hop? You still got Fitzgerald, right?
No.
Oh, did he retire?
He's a free agent.
Oh, is he? Okay, they let him go. Okay, they let him go over Green though. I would have kept him over Green.
He's a free agent, so they did not re-sign him, and they signed AJ. Well, because AJ Green's a cheaper paycheck.
Yeah, I'm with you.
AJ's a cheaper paycheck. I mean, right now and that was kind of the funny thing is, as the whole Michael Thomas story was breaking this afternoon, they were saying that Danny Amendola and Larry Fitzgerald are the top two free agent wide receivers out there. And somebody's agent did make a phone call to New Orleans, and they were talking earlier. So,
I
Fitzgerald.
will say this right now.
New Orleans needs something.
Don't sleep on Danny Amendola, man. That pint sound motherfucker make plays.
That guy's a baller.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I call him Danny Amendola rock and roller because he just comes up with a big play at the right time. That's him.
Of course, he did have Brady throwing him the ball most of that time.
Yeah, that's true.
True. It helps.
Yeah, but
It
I
helps.
agree. This division can go either way, and it do depends on the quarterback. Like, again, Russell Wilson could get protected. I mean, the last 3 years he's been sacked 51, 48, and 47 times. He's been taking hits these last 3 years. 3 years.
Hey, did you guys see that video of Tom Brady? I'm just breaking it up. Did you see Tom Brady throwing that thing into the? Do you think that was reverse? Do you
They
think
said that was fake.
Reverse jug?
I was telling my
No,
son
it-
that was
it's
reverse,
possible. No.
and my son's like that would be impossible for him to have that arm movement backwards.
Everybody would say that video was documented. I think even Brady came out and said it.
That was just totally badass.
Like they showed a video today of Aaron Rodgers. He was 50 at midfield, and they had the net all the way over here, and he threw it right into the
Right,
net.
he dropped it. Yeah,
Like,
he
I'm
dropped it in the dime bucket. Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. But he
All
would do
right.
that for real, though. That's amazing.
All righty. We've got no ordeal. I don't see Mr. Suds even jumping in yet, but he turned around and slotted in that the Cowboys, excuse me, that the Cowboys were going to turn around and take over. And trying to find his notes here. He says that Dallas and Washington are at the top at 10-7, but Dallas wins the division. Philly wins 3 games, and the Giants win 4 games.
He's being very generous with the Giants.
Um,
I
Well-
can't believe I'm actually agreeing with Suds like almost to a T.
yeah, I actually had the Cowboys running away with it at 14-3. The Eagles and Giants
Oh,
actually.
you're being real generous. 14 and 3.
Damn!
Oh yeah, this is Dallas.
They might
back
even
on
have
track.
that week 1.
No. Oh no,
Can't even
they
throw a
lose
football
week
like
1.
that.
Oh no. Don't get me wrong. They get that ass waxed in week 1.
Hang on. News flash. George takes Ezekiel Elliott at 9.
That's what's going to set him
Not
off.
a chance in hell, Zolt. Not a chance in hell. I will not do that again. No
You really
way.
think Zeke's last until 9?
Zolt, you picked 10th after me. Not a chance in hell you could pay me $100 and take that. It's not
Newsflash.
gonna happen.
George takes Elliott at 12.
No, not even at 12. No, the Eagles and Giants could flip flop a few. I got them only at 6-11, and Washington at 4-13.
Stop.
Wow.
Huh?
Washington's better than that.
Wow, yeah.
I think that the offense is just still discombobulated, and Fitzpatrick, I think it's over.
You always think it's over, and then it's magic.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think the magic is gone.
No, it's
Washington.
Gone.
no, it's not going.
Yeah,
You need to
Washington
think
still
magic
got all
just
their
sprinkled
starters
on
back.
you.
They had a top
I
10
think it's-
defense last year.
I think it's long gone. I think it's long gone. They could turn around and get to 6-11 too, but
I think Washington win the division, not Dallas.
Nah, I still
Give
think
me one of
Dallas
them
is
divisions where it's like 9-8, 8-9, like last year for the.
7,
Oh, yeah, please
8
no.
and 1 wins the division.
no. No.
Dallas
we can't.
winning the division, I could see, but only like with 10 wins, with Washington getting about 7.
Not-
That's offhand.
I gotta look at Washington's schedule.
George, you had him at
Chargers,
14-3.
Giants, Bills.
I don't know how you got Dallas 14 and 3. You know they're gonna choke
Yeah.
away 6 games already. That's Dallas.
What? The Chiefs is a loss. The
I'm
Bucks
about to
is
type
a
in the Redskins.
oh.
You're going to get flagged. Wow. I'm going to get booted off the internet.
I was going to say. Well, not since Suds isn't here to christen up anything else.
Those are Suds pits?
The favorite division, and that's Adam taking on the AFC South.
This was tough. All right. I mean,
well,
this
we
was
know
a shittier division than I expected.
One team shouldn't be too tough.
No, I'm going to start with them because that was the easy one. And this could, and like, you know, the thing is obviously the big question is Watson even going to play this year? That's the biggest key to them is if he plays.
He was he pulled a Houdini. He was on the field and off the field for a couple of quick throws, and then that was it for practice today.
But I mean, if he plays, it could be a different record. You know what I'm saying? If he doesn't play, I got him literally 0-17 or 1-16, depending. The prison inmate game of the year against the Jets could be their one win, I think.
Well, even if he does play, they have no wide receivers or running back or defense.
I can still see them winning 5 or 6 games with him in there.
Yeah, I was going to say,
and he's got the talent. There's no doubt he has the talent.
He does.
Well, everybody thought about the same thing with Stafford, and they end up going 0-16.
True.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, I plucked him at 1-16 too.
Yeah, Stafford wasn't. That was the year before Stafford.
Yeah, the year before Stafford, they went 0-16.
Even so, even if they had Stafford, that team's still going 0-16. They were garbage.
It was before Stafford.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
That's how they got the number one pick. They got the number one pick to get him.
That's right. Right. Okay.
The biggest excitement coming out of Texans camp is Jonathan Owens and his girlfriend Simone Biles making out at practice. That's the biggest news coming out of their training camp and everything else.
Oh, Jesus.
I was wondering if you saw that. I was wondering if you saw that.
Of course I did.
Look.
I almost posted the picture.
Look. If I'm him, I'm like, look, this team sucks, okay? My girlfriend's a winner. Maybe this will be close. We will get to winning.
I almost spit up water all over my computer. Thanks, Clint.
I'm just saying.
See her? This is what a winner looks like.
Oh, yeah. Man. Using the girlfriend as a motivator. Wow.
Yeah, she's the poster child for wins, and they don't have any. So how's that going to work? But this one... Next, I have this one might surprise a lot of people, but as of right now, the quarterback situation in Indy is a flipping mess. I mean, because right now they're saying that which as much as I want to see this kid succeed, because I have so much cards of his from last year, but they're saying Easton's struggling, and that there's a possibility that the rookie from Sam Ehlinger could start week 1.
I heard that too.
No.
I heard that too.
So what is that? I mean. Easton's had his chance to shine and make a move and take over the top spot, and he's not running. He's not doing it. Yeah. But I don't even know if Carson Wentz was there, if their record would be any better than what I gave him. But I might get a lot of shit for this, but I got Indy going 5-12.
I mean, I can definitely see that. They have no quarterback.
Right.
Yeah, 4, 5, 6 wins, somewhere around now.
They're good for an extra 1 win with Carson Wentz.
And you get 2 wins against Houston.
They'll lose one of those.
You know what I mean?
No, they ain't gonna lose one of those.
No, that's the one where the defense saves your ass.
Darius Leonard, his big extension.
That's where Jonathan Taylor's gonna get his yards.
Even the dog disagrees with you.
Yeah, both of them. They're both yapping.
Yeah, I did that before the Wentz deal, and with Wentz, I had him at 9-8. But yeah, now it's
way less.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna skip Jacksonville for a minute, just because I want to save them for the end. But obviously, I have Tennessee winning the division. I have them. Granted, their biggest issue has always been their defense. But I have them going 12-5. I mean,
Tennessee,
I thought that
yeah.
was a pretty. You know,
I
you
had-
get especially. Go ahead.
I had 14-3. I actually
Damn.
haven't been doing better.
Oh,
Yeah.
What do you got? What do you got? A Tennessee and Dallas Super Bowl too?
I know, man. George being super
no,
generous to all these teams.
no, but there's just those couple in there that I was like, everything else looks like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, because their defense is going to be their biggest hangup. Because as of right now, they're like ranked toward the bottom of the NFL, and for their defense. So that's going to be their biggest thing. But their offense should be stout with.
Sick, yeah.
I mean, think about it. You got Julio Jones, you got Brown, you got Derrick Henry.
Fatality.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, like they got a hell of an offense. It's just they're going to have to, gunsling it to probably get wins. So because obviously their defense isn't going to be able to save their ass.
No, but their offensive line, they even beefed up, and I mean.
Well, it's funny you say that because I, obviously being the Michigan fan, had to bring up my boy Taylor Lewan, who's coming back from injury. He said his first reps back in practice, his exact words, absolute trash. But
harsh credit he is.
Oh, but yeah, I mean he's going to tell it like it is. But I mean, yeah. So I got Tennessee going 12-5 and winning the division. Obviously, they're going to run away with it, I would think. And then that brings us to, and now I'm going to get a lot of shit for this because I actually think Jacksonville is going to surprise people. Now, don't gas for give me this shit when I give you this. I got them going 10-7.
It's just because you're an Urban Meyer Ohio State fan, that's why.
Bullshit.
Actually, remember he is a Michigan
Oh,
Wolverine.
I know. I'm giving him a hard time.
I can't.
But this guy also 10-7.
You guys just like the sunshine. That's why.
Well, I
When
am a
you look
fan
at their
of Long.
schedule, though,
Yeah.
they have
But
some
look at
winnable
this-
games, though.
Right. The schedule
Adam,
is.
Adam, George and I were talking. Was it this weekend? And I was even mentioning that Jacksonville could actually go from worst to first and overtake the division.
And that's the thing with
This
the
year.
mentality. Urban hates losing.
Yep.
And he's
Yeah.
done nothing but win everywhere he goes. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't put it past
And
him.
everybody
on
who's
their
saying that
first year.
everybody who's saying that Jacksonville's going to be an easy victory. No.
And I think Trevor Lawrence could. I mean, granted, hold on. I thought it was great that Minshew was not going down without a fight, though. He might be a little backed up, or whatnot, because he's not dropping a
did
number
you see
2.
that?
He said for all.
You saw that interview that he gave?
Yeah.
He wasn't going to settle for number 2.
I haven't taken a shit in a week. I'm not settling for number 2.
But I think the big news is why would you want to trade C.J. Henderson, your star DB, like you just got last year? You know what I'm saying? Like, did he not fit the mold for Urban, or is it just
There's something, there's something going on.
Personnel.
There has to be
Personnel.
something going on that you.
And I actually heard rumors that they were talking with the Saints about a trade to get Thomas down to Jacksonville.
I saw that this afternoon too, and the only thing I said it was like, well, Eli Apple's, when somebody, I think it was Leave It to Akers to turn around and mention, he's looking at an Ohio State guy. I'm like, the only Ohio State guy was Eli Apple. And I said,
I'm Ohio State
and I don't
guy.
think Urban's
Eli
gonna go.
Apple's trash. He's ass. He sucks.
Yeah,
He's a
I don't
pass
think
interference penalty waiting to happen. He gets one a game. He's Buster Screens 2.0.
yeah.
gonna get
I
one.
was going to say, agreed. And there's got to be something else that we're not being told on all of a sudden why Jacksonville has said, okay, this guy's available. What did he do?
Yeah.
We want to know what's going on. What'd you do? Because there has to be something that big for a first rounder to be just like, all right,
Shift out after his first year.
Like I said, I'm very intrigued to know what the hell he did or what has happened, because that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but I mean, so I didn't know that would surprise a lot of people, but I think Jacksonville is going to be might be the surprise of the season or of the year.
I was kind of like I said, I was thinking along the same lines you were. Jacksonville, don't in that weak division, don't discount them.
I might say because Tennessee is one fatality injury away from losing a couple games. Like,
Yeah, you take out
down.
you take out Derrick Henry, and you could easily knock away 2 or 3 wins.
Well,
Who is in the
no,
backup?
Darrington Evans is not a bad running back.
Yeah, that's Darrington
Let's
Evans.
not
That's right.
take away from Evans. You know,
He's not.
I mean, right now, that's kind of the key thing is a lot of these teams now are really solidifying up a 1 and 2 punch running back system.
The Browns started that.
And
There's
let's
a
not
lot-
pretend
there's a lot
let's not
going
pretend
on.
Tennessee only has a running game. They don't.
Right.
Yeah, I know they got AJ Brown, Julio Jones.
You have AJ Brown,
You
you
know
have Julio
Julio Jones
Jones, you
gonna
got
miss 4
Tannehill throwing to him.
You know,
Yeah.
Julio Jones gonna miss 4 games.
Well, even so, you still have your other receivers around. I mean, AJ Brown's no slouch himself.
No, I know that. I love AJ Brown. Dude's a beast. What they got after AJ Brown though?
Julio Jones.
AJ, Julio, Josh Reynolds.
I'm talking about if Julio goes down, then you just have AJ Brown. Who's after AJ Brown?
I forgot the
Well,
tight
then
end.
you run 80% of the plays.
The tight end with the greatest name ever, Ferksker.
First skirt.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one thing I think that's going to hurt the
They
hurt
got-
the Titans is losing Jonnu Smith. He was a great pass catching tight end, but he freaking was an amazing blocker too.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the
He
things
was.
I've been talking about in New England is not him so much for the pass catching, but more for the rushing game. Him being able to put him on one end and Henry on the other end, and get back to the old freaking Gronkowski Hernandez 2 tight end sets where they just ran the ball.
Yeah,
down
they
2
were killing
slants.
it.
on, Bob.
Just like that.
Hey, Suds.
Goodbye, bud.
Damn it! My internet went out. What did he do?
He turned around and he
Okay.
said, because what is
I said-
He murdered a joke, basically.
yeah,
I'm
literally.
looking a little bit into the CJ Henderson situation. Well, one, it don't help that he was put on the COVID list. Comes off the COVID list, you're scheduled to practice and you no-show to practice.
Oh,
Also the
yeah, that's not good.
Mm.
And you know how Urban Meyer is.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Hey, Tom Coughlin's the same way.
Yeah, he is.
Sorry, divas, you can't do this no more.
Practice.
He's like, I don't care if
Practice.
it's mandatory. Your ass had to beat her. They one time, I think Warren Tom come like, you can't yell at your players public because it's voluntary. And it can't. They don't have to show up. They got to show up. Like, they
All
don't.
right. Well, it's that time to knock into the postseason and into the playoffs.
Playoffs.
We talking
So
playoffs?
out of the NFC West, out of the NFC West, who are we picking? Seahawks, 49ers, Rams, or Cards?
Rams.
Great, yeah.
I hate Stafford, and they have no running game.
I'm
I
going-
gotta go with the. I actually gotta go with the Cards.
I don't
I think it's
necessarily
their,
think they
their
have
season.
no running game.
Ooh.
They got no running.
I just
game.
don't think they have much of a running game. Not nearly what they had.
Talk about
Losing Cam Akers hurts.
It
It
does.
do.
Oh, I'm sure
I think
Michael.
it's-
I'm sure Akers himself cried about it because you knew he was going to draft him, and of course now he can't. So if something, heaven forbid, were to happen to Justin Tucker, he might retire from fantasy football this year.
All right. Out of the NFC North, we said the Packers.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
That's pretty much a given.
That's a lot.
unanimous.
The NFC South, we say the Bucks.
Definitely
Yeah.
Bucks, and that's it.
And the Cowboys out of the East.
I think there's a fight actually there
Yeah,
about to
I'll go
happen
with that.
between
I'll go
Washington,
with
and
Washington,
Dallas.
man.
I think I'm looking at their schedule, and I look to me like it's potentially both can end up with a 10-7 record.
Well, who are the wild cards?
8-1.
Who are the wild cards? Give me wild card. So Washington is a wild card.
I would say Arizona, or if
Yeah,
we're
we're
going with
second in that division.
the
with Seattle,
Rams.
the one of the wild card teams.
I was gonna say it looks like as far as anywhere near the schedules, Arizona, the Cards, and Washington would be wild cards. So we've got Rams, Packers, Bucks, Cowboys, Washington, and Arizona. AFC East, Bills.
Buffalo,
Buffalo.
AFC North, which
Browns
one?
and Ravens.
Yeah, Browns and Ravens.
Yeah.
Browns and Ravens. One being the winner, one being the wild card.
Sure.
AFC South, the Titans. I'm assuming correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
And out of the West,
Kansas
Chiefs.
City.
Chiefs.
And are we throwing
Chargers.
the Chargers as the other?
Yeah.
Chargers.
Chargers.
And there's your playoffs.
All right.
Interesting.
So, Bucks at 1, Packers at 2.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
I mean, I could actually see that flipped. I just think
Yeah.
the Bucks take.
Tommy Boy likes to.
Well,
He sandbags.
Take
might be a
games off.
tiebreaker division or something like that.
He said that dude sandbags. If you don't notice, he sandbags shit.
Okay.
You know, I can
hold
see
that-
him.
You hold that shit for the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right.
And how many
So-
times did he do that? He did that against the Saints. All the
So
good
who's-
plays he waited to the playoffs to put against their ass.
Who's
Yeah,
that?
because they
who's
played.
that?
All their games last year were on the road, was it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They played at
who's
Washington
that-
and Green Bay.
Who's at 3? Cowboys or Rams at 3?
Oh wow.
Rams.
Rams.
That puts the Cowboys at 4. So 5 is Washington, or 5
I
is
would
the
think.
Cards.
Ooh,
Cards.
Arizona.
Arizona.
So we okay. So we have then the Rams versus the
I'll get
Cards and the Cowboys versus Washington.
Isn't there 7?
No, that was last
Not this year.
Oh, they only did that once?
That's a one and done.
Oh, I did not know that. That's good to know. So they're back to 6? 6
Yeah.
teams? The top 2 teams get by?
Yep.
Got it.
So Rams versus Card, really weird because it's divisional matchups.
Yeah.
So Rams versus Cards, who wins?
Rams.
Yeah.
My
Rams.
God,
Oh.
we have to give Stafford a playoff win.
I hate Stafford. He is not winning. George, write it down. Schroed's
Please let that happen.
a huge 100%. I'm dropping off the air if Stafford.
I'm gonna say this. Now, Kyler Murray, he fast. He can outrun all them linemen. He ain't running away from 99 that easily.
I was gonna say. Cowboys against Washington.
Another divisional game.
Another
Cowboys.
divisional.
Interesting.
I'm going Washington.
Yeah, Cowboys. I think.
Oh yeah. Between those
That
two
was a tough
Cowboys.
playoff game.
If Dallas stays
Plus, I
healthy,
really want
Dallas,
Ryan Fitzpatrick to get a win.
Drives me crazy.
Okay, so Packers versus Rams.
Pat.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ryan.
I just want to be that asshole and say Rams because that way the Detroit guys will be like, "Fuck you."
I'm just going to say Rams. I mean, if we're going to, Stafford's going to the Super Bowl. Let's go.
I am not saying. I'm never saying fuck you to the Green Bay Packers losing.
But then again, they have lost, in situations.
Well,
But,
how
they
bad is
will.
Stafford's record against Green Bay?
well, different offensive
sure it's
system this time.
Probably
So,
horrible.
Could that be the thing that haunts him, though?
Yeah, but
Or motivates
the Rams have a good defense. They have a good defense.
the Rams have a
Lions.
better defense than Detroit.
Oh God, yes.
I don't
Let's
know.
just remember the Lions could have had Donald.
Yeah.
Shoulda,
They
woulda,
could-
coulda.
They could have. They should have drafted him.
All those for the Packers. Raise your hands.
I'll say
Yeah.
Packers.
Hey, the Lions had a top 5 defense and
Okay,
still couldn't
Packers.
freaking win a playoff game with Stafford. So Rams ain't going
All right.
nowhere.
Packers it is.
Top
So,
5 defense or
Cowboys-
top 10 quarterback, eh?
Am I the only guy that's got the Rams in the Super Bowl this year?
Oh
Yes.
man.
Probably.
Apparently,
And this is coming from a Niners fan.
right. Niners guy here too. Don't feel bad, Chris. Bucks versus the Cowboys.
Bucks.
You said
Brady.
me 13 versus Aaron Rodgers.
Bucks, yeah.
We really not putting Brady in the Super Bowl again? I mean, come on, guys. Let's
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah, let's just
Well,
pencil Brady.
I mean,
in the
at this
Super Bowl.
point, I don't even see why they play the games.
Yeah.
I agree.
Bucks versus Packers.
I heard what Tom said. He said he need 2 more rings till he have a ring on every finger.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, this.
Tampa.
I'm going to
Yeah,
go
I agree
Green
with
Bay on this one.
Green Bay don't have the defense.
It's going to be Rodgers' fuck you season in Green Bay.
Oh, it has been. It will be. There's
It
no
will.
doubt.
down,
Yeah,
takes
but
to the
this is
Super
where it
Bowl,
ends.
Like, I'm out, bitch. Love with Jordan Love.
Go out on.
It'll be another
He's going to go out on top.
loss in the conference championship.
Okay. Ordered for Bills or Titans or Chiefs or Browns or Ravens. Give me the number one for the AFC.
Bills.
I agree. I'll go with Bill.
Bills number one, yeah.
Who's number two?
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Chiefs will be 2.
Yeah.
Titans at 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who do you want as the AFC North then?
Browns, baby.
Yeah, Browns at 4. I think they win the division.
All right. Who's 5? Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens.
Who's the other
Yeah.
10?
And Chargers squeak in. Yeah.
6. Okay, Titans or Ravens. Wow, that's
Ooh,
weird. to say
That's
that.
a good match.
That's a good game.
That's
Look
what
how
we made.
good
That's a
we are.
rematch
We
from-
set them up, baby.
I'm gonna go with the Titans on this.
I
think they-
agree. I'm going to go with Tennessee.
Oh, Ravens.
And the
Ravens.
Chargers
You know what,
in
Tennessee?
Cleveland. The
Tennessee.
Chargers in Cleveland in January. What could
Cleveland.
In Cleveland?
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Yeah, it's in Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Hosts. Yeah.
In Cleveland. Cleveland.
I'm a
Okay.
We
That
got
put,
to go with the Cleveland sabotage. That's where they blow themselves up.
Hater.
Whatever you get. Kick him out of there.
all right. And ironically enough, this is eerily similar. Bills versus Titans and Chiefs versus Browns.
Bill. Wait, who they say? Bill
The
or the
Titans,
Bills?
Titans.
the Titans are at the Bills,
Give me the
and the
Bills.
Browns are at the Chiefs.
Give me the
Buffalo.
Bills.
I mean, I think that is, again, that's a great friggin'
That
matchup.
is-
All the way
Yeah.
around.
I'll go with Bills. I want to take Tennessee, but I think it's Bills.
And the Chiefs at the Browns, part 2.
It is.
Browns.
This one, yeah.
I think
Part
it's gonna
2,
be flipped. I think it's gonna be the Browns at the Chiefs. And I think
Browns.
the Chiefs are gonna win.
No, it will be because the Chiefs are ranked second. So
I know that. I'm
Browns-
just saying, but I
it'll be-
think
yeah.
I personally think that Kansas City will have a better record than the Browns at the end of the year. I know on our chart it's different, but
No,
I
we
think-
do have the Chiefs
No, that's,
number 2, so they have the better record.
oh, so I thought you said it was at Cleveland.
No,
Oh, then I'm going
No.
with Kansas City. Either way, I would have went with Kansas City. I think Kansas City wins.
I'm going to be a homer.
Part 2, I
Fucking-
think.
It's
I think Cleveland's got Mahomes' number on part 2.
The 2 quarterbacks of the same draft class. Duke it out.
all right. I mean, there's 8 of us. Who's got Chiefs?
Chiefs.
ooh,
Who's got Browns?
almost for Cleveland. Doug's got.
I,
Doug said,
That was
Doug-
delayed.
Doug-
delay.
Doug's got the lag.
Doug's got-
That's all right.
Well then, this got interesting. Now we've got the Browns at the Bills.
Oh my
That'll
God.
be the game. I get to talk shit to my sister. I'm like,
Buffalo.
put
Bills,
money on it.
Buffalo.
Oh, flow that one, yeah.
So we have the Bills.
I'm going
against
Browns.
the Bucks.
But, God damn it. They're going to go all the way.
Come on.
Bills Bucks Super
Man,
Bowl.
this is such a fucking homer picks here. It's
That
ridiculous.
was my pick last year for the Super Bowl was Buffalo versus Tampa
Mine
Bay.
too.
Stupid Kansas City ruining it.
Well, you got him a year late.
And what do you think happens then?
Number 9.
Yeah.
It is so
No,
hard to repeat.
I'm sorry, I don't
It
think
is
so.
so hard to repeat.
Yep,
It is.
I agree.
I mean, look at Kansas City.
You know who's done it though?
Tom Brady.
Tommy Brady.
Yeah, I know. Good old go Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, he said he need 2 more
Gonna
rings.
do it twice. Yeah.
Tom Brady's been in
Gets 9.
so many Super Bowls over my lifetime. You just got to put him in there. I mean, that's his spot.
He's in there, but he hasn't won them. He has lost them too.
True,
So-
but I think the most scary thing with this team is they just won a Super Bowl. They've literally brought back everyone and got better.
All right.
So, I mean, I don't know who beats them. Like, plus they have now a full year under their belt. They literally only got better as the year went on. I just don't see anybody even coming close. I mean, you want to talk about a 17-0 season? Like,
You realize
who
Tom
beats them in the regular
Brady's
season?
Tom Brady's 44, and if he gets one more ring, he's got enough rings for each one of those fingers.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying Tommy doesn't do squadoosh. He gets.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said, I need 2 more rings. I had one on everything.
Yeah, I can win $1 million too, and guess what? I ain't getting it.
But Tom Brady will get a Super Bowl ring, though. So, sorry.
He needs 3, don't he? He only got 7, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
three
got
more.
7.
He's only got 7. And I don't think
I
he
know.
does it.
He got 7. He said 2 more rings. Don't get. He mentioned his wedding ring. You know Gazelle whoop his ass if he don't. she runs that household.
That's right.
Well, she makes more money than he does.
He's the
Yeah,
greatest of all time for a reason.
I don't see Tampa Bay repeating. I do not. I think there will be some epic fails that happen.
Here's the thing.
How awesome would that be, though?
If they don't repeat, it's because they didn't make it. They get into this game, they don't lose it.
What?
I say that.
Go eat, man. I'm on my show.
I mean,
It'd be awesome to see the Browns ruin it for him.
Welcome to the house.
I'm sure a lot
That
of
would
people
be
in
funny
Buffalo
as
wouldn't
hell.
I
mind
believe if
seeing
the
That
Browns
would
go
be
to the Super Bowl, I
hysterical.
believe the Browns could beat Tampa. They can. Like,
That would be hilarity all over the place.
No, our luck would be it would come down to a kicking
gonna
game.
play
We'd
that-
have fucking like Scott Norwood,
Oh.
Parky's punk ass in there.
Oh, hey, we didn't even
Lease
touch
is
on Will
out.
Lutz. I forgot about Will Lutz.
Yeah, I was
On the
going to say that's the other reason why the Saints won't go anywhere either is
Yeah.
because Will Lutz is out too. Yeah.
8 to 12
dang,
weeks.
that's all they offense.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Will Lutz is out injured, so yeah.
indefinitely, or he'll
he's
be
8
there.
gone.
to 12 weeks.
He's at 12 weeks.
Mm.
Yep.
Ouch.
He's out for pretty much.
They can have Cody Parkey.
Yeah, they can have double.
Yeah, he had
doing
core muscle surgery.
Yeah, not pretty.
So we got Buffalo winning in ours then.
Oh, Bucks.
Dave
Bucks.
says,
Bucks.
that. Yeah,
Tampa
but-
Bay.
Doug, where'd Doug go? Damn it.
Doug vanished a little while ago.
Yeah,
Bills.
I agree. My buddy Dave says don't count out the Browns. I'm telling you, I don't.
I
I
agree.
think
I
a lot of
don't
people are
count the Browns
underestimating
either.
them.
It's cool.
Suds
We
read Tampa Bay or Buffalo?
We driving that underdog, bro.
That's
Heck, you
right.
underestimate.
Okay, so that's 4.
I'm still gonna go with Buffalo.
We'd be the most
seriously
disrespected.
think that undefeated season could happen.
Yeah, for Tampa Bay.
Buffalo's going undefeated.
No, not for Tampa.
They get it better.
Definitely not Tampa Bay. Tom Brady gets his freaking coronary fits like Philip Rivers. So trust me, I don't see Tommy Boy coasting through. And especially, I thought it was hilarious that Arians turned around and said that the offense sucked so bad today. He says the defense was either really good or the offense sucked that bad. And he says, and we can't turn around and do anything, like we used to back in the old days. He goes, we turn around and beat the shit out of these guys. He goes, we can't do that anymore or we'd go to jail. That was a direct quote, by the way.
That's the Bruce Arians, though.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
him.
Well, I mean, there's always Joe
Why you love
Judge.
him so much?
Joe Judge, and you will run until you die.
Right.
No judge for that too.
I was going to say, speaking
And
of
respect
which,
because the fact that like my quarterback is in the.
By the way,
dog,
that's
that
4
power,
for
right?
Tampa
So my
Bay,
quarterback-
Yeah, that was 4 votes for Tampa Bay.
yep, I got it.
You along with Buffalo, George?
What was said at the bottom of the pile in Giants camp?
Oh
What did Daniel
God.
Jones say at the bottom of the pile? At least it's not air.
No, I got one. Who farted?
Did you
what
guys
yard line
see?
did you trip over this time?
Can you imagine if
Turf monster.
Can you imagine if Daniel Jones got hurt? Oh my god.
Oh,
God, who's their backup?
they'd be running for.
Daniel Jones is their backup.
Yeah.
No.
They're already starting to back up. I don't know.
Speaking of quarterback talk, did you
It
guys
is
see?
Mike Glennon is the.
Oh,
Oh God!
But did
That
you guys
guy-
see
that
the
guy's supposed to
Vikings
be dead.
fans?
For y'all Lions fans, I will say this: y'all are smart in one situation. Y'all didn't go and pull the Bears and pay Mike Glennon $15 million. Like, I don't know why they did that.
Yeah.
What Minnesota thing? On?
Did you see where they were doing the TikToks where they would stitch it, saying that Kirk Cousins was throwing them passes and they were throwing it over their houses and shit? Like it was an errant throws. Like the one guy runs out and he's like acting like he's going to catch the pass, and then he looks up and the ball's going over his house. Like all these fans were doing this and they were just stitching it to make fun of fucking Cousins and how bad he is in his accuracy. I didn't think he was that bad, but okay.
David is calling shots.
I agree with you, David. Football
Yeah,
team
right.
takes that division, but I was outvoted.
Well, we all agreed that they would take it.
I
We
believe
made
in
them.
Waikiki, ha ha. I believe in him.
Hey,
I
so
got it down as a tie. Dallas and Washington, and whoever wins the heads up matches. That's what it boils down to. I got them both.
That's what it
at 10
came down
and
to
7
last
this
year, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you look at it, Washington won the division last year. They had a quarterback who was only on one leg, and Fitzpatrick is an upgrade. He's got two legs. He's got one up on the dude.
Right.
Jesus, son, you're killing me. You're killing me, son.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
That's time number 3, and he's only been here like 20 minutes.
Right.
Oh my God. Could you imagine if he was here at the start of the show?
You'd have just kept him out, booted him out, and kept him out.
So what do I win, George, when the Rams take it all this year?
Our utmost gratitude and
Our
respect.
respect. Damn it, I'm on the wrong show.
Never being brought back on the show to tell us.
Damn, I know Lions fans would be so
Well, I was going to say, last year we picked the Saints and the Ravens for our Super Bowl, and boy, were we off.
I had Tampa
Lamar
and
Jackson in
the
the playoff
Chiefs,
game.
but I had the Chiefs winning. So
No, we had the Chiefs and Ravens, and we had the Packers and the Saints in our Final Four.
We almost had the Packers, right?
Yeah, almost.
the only reason that I started backing off the Rams was because Cam Akers got hurt. I think he was just a fantastic running back. But I like Stafford, man. I think Stafford with a real defense and a real team is going to be something. So we'll see. Plus, he's got Kershaw there. You know, they're best friends.
I predict Stafford will be a top 10 quarterback this season.
Okay, Durkin.
Unbelievable.
I miss Durkin.
Oh,
Yeah, was he ever going to come back?
No, I don't think so. Not after the humiliation of last year.
Did you ever shave his head?
No.
No. And apparently it will not happen.
It'll wait at least a year.
David agrees with you, Chris. Rams are a great sleeper team. You know, like you said, we took a division. No joke. We literally, I mean, as far as even my stuff in depth, follow the beat writers. We're watching the Twitter. We're watching game film or practice films. We're doing some diligent work, to roughly get a pretty strong idea of how some of this stuff looks. So, take our, opinions lightly. Everybody's opinion entitled to their own, and like I said, who knows,
Sooner or later, we'll get one right.
Eventually we will.
Might take 32 years, but we'll
I
get
was
the
waiting for
champion
that.
right.
Hey, there's a lot of guys
That
getting paid a lot of money
day,
to
man.
be just as wrong.
I was going to say, there are a lot of guys on the 4-letter network who are sitting there getting paid a lot of money, and they royally fuck it up. So guess
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. They're like
So you,
weathermen.
Yeah,
you got this
you
all
got, like,
documented so you can keep track, right, George?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Stephen A.
I've got it.
Smith, man. Those guys.
Because I hope
Yeah.
to God I'm not off on my Jacksonville pick.
No, like I said,
No, I think Jacksonville
that's-
Jacksonville was the name.
That's going to be that's why we turn around and, I mean, like I said, we weren't too far off last year. We were not. We really weren't. Even with saying that the Browns, we literally nailed the whole AFC. We just had everybody out of order.
Mm-hmm.
So I call that a pretty damn good winner as far as our predictions with that.
That's why we're award winning.
That's right. We
That
are-
or nobody else was qualified.
God damn it, Suds.
That's it.
I think
You're out of here.
You're out of here. Get out of here. Jesus.
He's averaging about a boot every 10 minutes.
I was going to say more like 4 at this point. Jesus
He
Christ.
said I gotta make up time.
Oh my God.
End the show.
All right.
Yeah.
With that being said,
Before he
let
comes
me
back.
turn around and- well, next week we start our fantasy football stuff, so we're not getting out of the football arenas anytime soon. So, for those who are still tuned into us, we'll catch you on the flip side and see you next week.